Listen to me, you are not here by accident. You're here because deep down, you know you've been holding back. You've been playing small. You've been living in the shadow of what you could be, and I'm here to tell you. It's time to stop. It's time to take back the wheel. It's time for your comeback. Body, the core message: getting whatever you want is not about luck. It's not about someone picking you. It's not even about talent. It's about a decision to stop negotiating with your excuses, a decision to show up every day whether you feel like it or not, a decision to stop waiting for permission and start building the life you want with your own two hands. Here's the truth: life doesn't give you what you wish for. It gives you what you fight for, what you sacrifice for, what you refuse to quit on, even when everything in you is screaming to stop. You want to get whatever you want. Then you have to do three things: see it before it's real. If you can't visualize it, you can't chase it. Every great comeback starts in the mind. Act like it's already yours, not in arrogance, but in certainty. Move like someone who refuses to lose. Outlast everyone else. Most people quit. If you keep going, you win by default. When life knocks you down, and it will, you have a choice. You can stay down, or you can rise up, bruised and bleeding, and say that all you got. This is your reminder. You are stronger than the heartbreak. You are tougher than the failures, and you are bigger than the fear that's been holding you hostage. Closing call to action. The clock is ticking. Your story is being written with every choice you make from this moment forward. Stop waiting for the perfect time. It doesn't exist. Start now, because the only way to get whatever you want is to go take it. And when they ask you how you did it, you'll be able to look them straight in the eye and say, I didn't stop, I didn't give in, and I didn't settle for less than I deserved. Your life changes the moment you decide to stop playing small. The moment you stop shrinking yourself to fit into places you've outgrown. The moment you stop pretending you're okay with less than what you truly want. You have been dimming your own light for far too long, telling yourself that it's safer to stay invisible, that it's better not to make waves. But deep down, you know that staying small doesn't protect you. It just starves you. It starves your dreams. It starves your potential. It starves the part of you that knows you were meant for more. There's a shift that happens when you decide you will no longer apologize for wanting what you want. You stop waiting for permission. You stop asking, is this okay? And you start saying, this is mine. You begin to walk into rooms differently. You speak differently. You carry yourself with the weight of someone who has finally remembered their worth. You stop letting fear be the loudest voice in the room. Fear might still whisper, but now your determination speaks louder. Opportunities start to appear, not because the world suddenly changes, but because you finally opened your eyes to what's been there all along. You start saying yes to the things that scare you. You start showing up even when you feel unprepared. You stop hiding your talents, your ideas, your voice, and slowly, the gap between who you've been and who you're becoming starts to close. People will notice. Some will cheer you on. Some will doubt you. Some will try to remind you of the old you, the smaller you, the one who stayed quiet, but you won't go back, because once you've tasted your own power, you can't unknow it. You'll start to feel a different kind of hunger, the hunger for growth, for expansion, for experiences that push you further than you've ever gone. Every challenge becomes an invitation to rise higher. Every failure becomes a stepping stone instead of a wall. You begin to realize that the limits you thought were holding you back were never real. They were stories you told yourself to feel safe, and the moment you decide to stop playing small, you stop living in those stories. You create new ones, ones where you are the hero, not the bystander, ones where you take the risk, make the leap, bet on yourself, and win. Your world starts to expand in ways you could never have imagined before. Not because magic happened, but because you finally decided to show up as the fullest, boldest version of yourself, and that changes everything. Getting what you want is a choice, not luck or talent. It's not about waiting for the perfect opportunity to fall into your lap. It's not about being born with some rare gift that others don't have. It's about deciding, right here and now, that you will not stop until you have it. It's about taking responsibility for where you are and where you're going. Luck might open a door for you once in a while, but it will never walk you through it. Talent might give you a head start, but without action, it fades into nothing. Choice is the difference maker. The choice to keep going when it's easier to quit. The choice to work on days when you're tired, unmotivated, or doubting yourself. The choice to learn what you don't yet know instead of using ignorance as an excuse. The choice to stand up again after failure knocks you flat. Most people never get what they want because they never fully choose it. They wish for it, they talk about it, they daydream about it, but they never decide to make it non-negotiable. When you choose something, you remove the option of turning back. You stop playing with the idea of success and start building it. You start making sacrifices, time, comfort, habits, that the old version of you would never give up. You start aligning your actions with your goal instead of your mood. You stop chasing distractions that steal your focus. You stop letting other people's opinions decide your direction. Getting what you want doesn't require you to be the smartest, the strongest, or the most talented. It requires you to be the most committed. It requires you to wake up every day and choose your goal again, even when yesterday was a disaster. It requires you to trust yourself enough to keep moving without seeing the whole path. Every breakthrough you've ever heard about came from someone who chose to keep going, not because they were lucky, not because they had some magical ability, but because they made a decision and refused to take it back. You can't control luck. You can't control the talents you were born with, but you can control your choices. You can choose to take the first step today. You can choose to keep moving when it gets hard. You can choose to be the kind of person who follows through on what they say they want. And when you do that, when you choose with your actions and not just your words, life has no choice but to respond. Because getting what you want is not an accident. It is the direct result of your decision to claim it. Stop negotiating with excuses and start demanding more from yourself. Every time you tell yourself you'll start tomorrow, you're making a deal with comfort. Every time you say you're too tired, too busy, or not ready, you're letting excuses sit at the head of the table and make your decisions for you. Excuses are skilled negotiators. They speak in the voice of reason. They tell you it's okay to take it easy, that you've done enough, that you'll get back to it when life is less chaotic. But life will always be chaotic. There will always be something in the way, something more urgent, more comfortable, more tempting. And if you keep negotiating, you'll keep losing. Excuses don't disappear on their own. They grow stronger every time you give in. They build a case against your dreams until you start believing them yourself. You start telling yourself that maybe you weren't meant for more, that maybe you should settle, that maybe your goals were unrealistic, but that's not the truth. The truth is, you lowered your standards because it was easier than raising your effort. The truth is, you stopped demanding more from yourself and started accepting less. Demanding more doesn't mean being perfect. It means refusing to accept anything less than your best. It means holding yourself accountable even when no one else is watching. It means showing up for the life you said you wanted, not the one you're settling for. When you stop negotiating with excuses, you stop giving them power. You stop letting your mood dictate your moves. You stop letting the voice in your head that says not today win the argument. Instead, you replace it with the voice that says, I don't care how I feel, I'm doing it anyway. Demanding more from yourself is not punishment. It's a declaration. It's you saying, I am worth the effort, I am worth the discipline, I am worth the struggle. It's you deciding that your future matters more than your comfort in this moment. It's you setting a standard so high that the person you were yesterday has to fight to keep up. You don't become stronger by taking the easy route. You don't become disciplined by giving in when it's inconvenient. You become stronger by facing the resistance head on. You become disciplined by proving to yourself over and over again that you can do hard things. And every time you choose action over excuses, you build a version of yourself that excuses can no longer control. You start becoming someone who expects more, demands more, and achieves more. Because you finally decided that your dreams are not up for negotiation. Visualize success before it happens. Clarity fuels motivation. Before you take a single step, you need to see where you're going. If your mind can't picture it, your body won't chase it. Every great achievement begins with a clear image of the finish line. It's not enough to hope for success. You have to feel it. You have to hear it. You have to see it so vividly in your mind that it becomes more than just an idea. It becomes a reality you've already lived in your imagination. When you close your eyes, you should be able to see yourself there, standing in the moment you've been working for, hearing the applause, feeling the relief, tasting the victory. Your brain doesn't know the difference between a vividly imagined experience and a real one. When you visualize success, you're not just daydreaming. You're programming your mind to believe it's possible. And when your mind believes something is possible, your actions begin to align with that belief. Clarity creates energy. When you know exactly what you're chasing, you wake up with purpose. You stop wandering aimlessly and start moving with intention. You stop wasting time on things that don't bring you closer to your vision. The clearer your vision, the stronger your drive. Vague goals create weak action. Precise goals create unstoppable momentum. When you visualize, don't just think about the outcome. See the process. See yourself putting in the work. See yourself overcoming obstacles. See yourself staying focused when distractions try to pull you away. Because success isn't just about the final moment. It's about every step it takes to get there. The more you rehearse those steps in your mind, the more natural they feel when it's time to take them in real life. Visualization is a form of commitment. It's telling yourself, this is who I am, this is where I'm going, this is non-negotiable. Some people wait for motivation to show up before they start, but motivation often follows clarity, not the other way around. When your vision is sharp, your motivation rises to meet it. When you can see the end, the work feels less like a burden and more like a pathway. You start to crave the feeling of progress. You start to measure your days by how much closer you've moved toward that image in your mind, and every time you picture it, you strengthen your belief in it. And belief is the fuel that keeps you moving long after excitement fades. So see it first, feel it first, live it in your mind until your reality has no choice but to catch up. Act with certainty as if your goal is already yours. Move through your days like someone who has already crossed the finish line. Speak like someone who has already won. Make decisions like someone who knows the outcome is inevitable. When you carry yourself with certainty, you send a message to yourself and to the world that you are not here to try, you are here to claim. Certainty is not arrogance, it is conviction. It is the quiet confidence that comes from knowing you will not stop until the vision in your mind becomes the reality in your hands. Most people approach their goals with hesitation. They tiptoe, they second guess. They move as if they are asking life for permission to succeed. But life doesn't reward hesitation. It rewards decisive action. When you act with certainty, you cut off all other options. You stop wondering what might happen if you fail, and you start asking what needs to happen for you to win. You shift your focus from what if it doesn't work to what will I do when it does. This changes everything. Your energy changes. Your habits change. Your environment begins to change because certainty attracts opportunity. People start to see you differently. They can feel that you're committed in a way most aren't. They sense that you're not dabbling, you're all in. Certainty makes you resourceful. When you believe the goal is already yours, you stop looking for excuses and start looking for solutions. You no longer ask whether you can do it. You ask how you can do it faster, better, smarter. Every setback becomes a temporary delay, not a permanent defeat. You don't crumble under pressure because your belief in the end result is unshakable. Acting with certainty also sharpens your discipline. You stop wasting energy on activities that don't align with your goal. You stop entertaining distractions disguised as opportunities. You say no to anything that doesn't serve the mission because you already know what's at stake. This mindset forces you to operate at a higher standard. You work like someone who has something to protect. Because you do, you protect your dream as if it's already real, already alive, already breathing. You don't wait for the world to believe in you before you believe in yourself. You show up every day as proof that belief is enough to start, and certainty is enough to finish. When you act with that level of conviction, your actions start to align perfectly with your vision. And when your actions align, results follow, not because magic happens, but because the world responds to the energy of someone who moves with the quiet power of inevitability. Persistence beats talent. Most people quit before they win. It's not always the most gifted who rise to the top. It's not always the ones with the perfect plan, the perfect resources, or the perfect start. It's the ones who refuse to stay down when they're knocked down. It's the ones who keep showing up when everyone else walks away. Talent is a gift, but it fades without effort. Persistence is a choice, and it grows stronger every time you use it. The truth is, most people don't lose because they're incapable. They lose because they stop trying. They convince themselves the struggle isn't worth it. They tell themselves it wasn't meant to be. They give up inches before the breakthrough, and they never know how close they were to winning. Persistence is the quiet force that carries you through the days when motivation is gone. It's the decision to keep moving when progress feels invisible. It's the discipline to keep taking the next step even when the finish line is nowhere in sight. You don't need to be the most talented to win. You just need to last longer than the ones who quit. Persistence turns setbacks into stepping stones. It turns failure into feedback. It turns doubt into fuel. Every challenge you face has a breaking point. Most people reach that point and stop. But if you can push just a little further, if you can outlast the discomfort, You find the space where growth happens. That space is where victories are born. Persistence teaches you resilience. It hardens your mind and strengthens your spirit. It builds the kind of toughness that talent alone can't give you. Because talent without grit is wasted potential. But grit without talent, that's unstoppable. When you keep going, even the odds start to bend in your favor. Opportunities appear for those who refuse to leave the game. The longer you stay in the fight, the more you learn, the more you adapt, the more your skills sharpen. What was once impossible becomes routine. What once seemed out of reach becomes part of your reality, and it all happens because you didn't stop. Persistence is not glamorous, it's not exciting, it's showing up when no one's watching. It's working in silence while the world forgets about you. It's trusting that the hours you put in will one day demand recognition, and when that day comes, it won't be because you were the most talented. It will be because you were the one who stayed when others left. Pain is part of the process. Your comeback is born in discomfort. You cannot grow without it. You cannot transform without it. The moments that hurt the most are the very moments that shape you into who you need to become. Discomfort is not a sign that you're failing. It's a sign that you're stretching. It's a sign that you're moving beyond the limits you've lived within for far too long. Every great comeback story has a chapter where everything feels like it's falling apart, where the weight feels too heavy, where the nights are long, the days are exhausting, and progress feels invisible. But that's where the change is happening. That's where the old you is breaking apart, so the stronger version of you can be built. Pain strips away what's unnecessary. It removes the illusions. It shows you what you're truly made of. When you're in pain, you have two choices. You can run from it, hide from it, and try to escape it. Or you can lean into it, embrace it, and use it as fuel. Running from pain only makes it last longer. Facing it head on shortens its grip on you. Discomfort is not there to destroy you. It's there to prepare you. It's there to harden your resolve, sharpen your focus, and ignite a fire you didn't know you had. The muscles of your body grow through resistance. Your character grows the same way. Without resistance, you remain soft, untested, unchanged. Without discomfort, you stay in the version of yourself that was never meant to carry your dreams. Your comeback is forged in the moments when you want to quit but don't. It's born in the mornings you get up when your body aches. It's built in the late nights you keep working while everyone else is sleeping. Every tear, every setback, every frustration is a brick in the foundation of your return. And when you finally rise, people will see the victory, but they won't see the pain that built it. They won't see the nights you questioned everything. They won't see the battles you fought in silence, but you will, and you will know exactly why you earned every step of that comeback. Pain teaches you to appreciate the climb. It teaches you that nothing worth having comes without cost. It teaches you that strength is not given. It's earned through endurance. So when the pain comes, don't pray for it to end too soon. Let it mold you. Let it teach you, because one day you will look back at this season of discomfort and realize it was the birthplace of your greatest strength. You are stronger than your failures. Use them as fuel, not anchors. Failure is not the end of the road. It is not proof that you aren't capable. It is proof that you tried, proof that you stepped into the arena when others stayed on the sidelines. Every failure carries a lesson, and those lessons are the building blocks of your future success. The problem is not that you fail. The problem is when you let failure define you, when you let it chain you to the past, When you start believing that one mistake, one setback, or one bad chapter means your entire story is over. But you are not your failures. You are the person who walks through them and comes out stronger on the other side. You are the one who can take the broken pieces and build something even greater. When you fail, you have a choice. You can treat it like a weight that drags you down, or you can treat it like fire that powers your next move. Anchors keep you stuck in the same place, replaying the same regret. Fuel pushes you forward, making you faster, sharper, and more determined. Some of your greatest breakthroughs will come directly from the lessons failure taught you, the patience you never had before, the resilience you didn't know you could develop, the ability to adapt, to think differently, to try a new way when the old one didn't work. Every time you get back up after falling, you prove to yourself that you can survive what you thought would break you. That proof builds confidence. That confidence builds momentum, and momentum builds success. The people who achieve the most in life are not the ones who never fail. They are the ones who fail, learn, adjust, and try again without losing their drive. Failure is feedback. It tells you what to fix, what to strengthen, and what to let go of. It is the map that shows you a better route to where you want to go. But you only see that map if you're willing to look at failure without fear. If you keep running from it, you'll miss the wisdom it carries. If you face it, you'll realize it was never there to stop you. It was there to prepare you. You have already survived every failure you've faced so far. That means you are stronger than every single one of them. And if you can survive them, you can use them. Turn the sting of disappointment into the fuel that drives you to work harder. Turn the frustration into the fire that refuses to settle for less. Because your failures are not the end, they are the launchpad for your next victory. The perfect time will never come. Start where you are now. If you're waiting for everything to align, you'll be waiting forever. There will always be something in the way. There will always be a reason to delay, a reason to hold back, a reason to tell yourself not yet. But not yet can turn into never if you let it. Life doesn't pause for you to feel ready. It moves forward with or without you. And every day you spend waiting for the right moment is a day you could have been moving closer to your goal. The truth is, there is no perfect moment. There is only the moment you choose to act. You might not have all the resources right now. You might not have the perfect plan. You might not feel ready, but you have something far more important. You have today. You have this moment, and that's enough to take the first step. Starting where you are is not a weakness. It's a strength. It means you're willing to work with what you have instead of making excuses for what you don't. It means you're willing to figure things out along the way instead of waiting to have every answer before you begin. No one starts at the top. No one begins with everything in place. The ones who succeed are the ones who start messy, start scared, start unsure, but start anyway. Action creates clarity. Movement builds momentum. The longer you wait, the heavier the starting point feels. You don't need a flawless plan to begin. You need the courage to begin without one. You'll learn more in 1 month of doing than in a year of thinking about it. You'll discover strengths you didn't know you had and skills you didn't know you could develop. But you can only find them once you start. The conditions will never be perfect. There will always be uncertainty. There will always be risk, but risk is the price of growth. If you wait for a time when the risk disappears, you'll be waiting until life passes you by. Start small if you have to. Start slow if you need to. But start. Use the tools you have, the knowledge you've gained, the connections you already hold, and trust that as you move, the rest will come. The path will not reveal itself to those who stand still. It opens for the ones who walk forward even when they can't see the whole way. So stop waiting for the perfect time. It's not on its way. The time is now, and the place to start is exactly where you stand. Refuse to settle. Commit to the life you know you're capable of living. Deep down, you know there's more in you than what you've been giving. You know there's a bigger version of yourself waiting to be unleashed. But too often we settle. We settle for jobs that drain us. We settle for relationships that don't inspire us. We settle for routines that keep us comfortable but keep us small. We tell ourselves this is enough because chasing more feels risky, because stepping out of the familiar feels dangerous. But settling comes with its own danger, the danger of looking back one day and realizing you never lived the life you were meant to live. The life you're capable of isn't built on compromise with your potential. It's built on commitment to your vision. It's built on the refusal to accept anything less than the standard you set for yourself. Refusing to settle means raising the bar, even when it's uncomfortable. It means demanding more from your days, your work, your relationships, and yourself. It means saying no to opportunities that don't align with your true goals, even if they're safe. When you commit to the life you're capable of, you stop moving through life like a passenger. You grab the wheel, you stop letting circumstances dictate your direction and start creating your own path. You stop measuring your potential by your past and start measuring it by your vision. This commitment is not a one-time decision, it's a daily choice. It's waking up every morning and asking, am I moving toward the life I truly want, or am I just going through the motions? It's holding yourself accountable when you slip into comfort zones. It's pushing yourself when you want to ease up. It's refusing to compromise your dreams for the sake of short-term ease. Living the life you're capable of will require sacrifice. It will require letting go of people, habits, and mindsets that keep you small. It will require stepping into challenges that scare you because that's where your growth lies. It will test your patience, your discipline, and your belief in yourself. But every step toward that life will feel like oxygen in your lungs. Every win will feel deeper because you'll know you earned it without cutting corners on your vision. The alternative is to settle, to convince yourself this is all there is, to accept less than you deserve and call it contentment. But you weren't made for a life half lived. You were made to create, to grow, to build, to rise. Refuse to settle, because the cost of comfort is the death of your potential. Commit fully and watch the life you've imagined begin to take shape around you. So when the day comes that you stand in the life you once only dreamed about, you'll know it didn't happen by accident. It happened because you decided. It happened because you refused to settle. It happened because you committed, fully, fiercely, and without apology, to the life you knew you were capable of living. And in that moment, you won't just be proud of where you are, you'll be proud of who you became to get there.